I noticed something that sometimes you have to act to get what you want. Depending on what situation you're in, depending on where you are, sometimes you have to change characters to fit in or to, get what you want to achieve, find the goal or get the goal you want to achieve. So, and that's really difficult for some people to do, myself included. So a lot of people will think, so let's say for example, right? You're not the most business savvy person, but you go to an event with a lot of business people there and a lot of contacts and networking events. You have to pretend to be like one of them. If you want to get what you want, if you want to get like a sponsorship, if you want to get notice, recognition for your company, you have to fit in. You got to pretend, you got to act a certain way. And a lot of people don't know how to do that because it's difficult. It's hard to change characters. That's why there's so many, or that's why it's so hard to make it in Hollywood. It's really difficult to pretend to be someone else for an extended period of time. These actors, a lot of them, they do drugs, drugs, drink a lot, alcoholism, because when they fit into their role, when they pretend to be someone else, that really takes a lot out of them. They really get entrenched into the character. They get into it a lot. They pretty much become the character they're supposed to be. So you hear about some of these actors, they get into the role so heavily that they end up turning into that person, and it affects their everyday lives outside of acting. So for example, the Batman actor, or the one that played Joker, God, I forgot his name already. Oh, Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger I heard stories like he would be fully entrenched in the character so much that it was hard for them to pull him out of character. And you hear that term a lot, pull someone out of character. Because when you're acting a certain way, it's extremely hard to get back to your normal self once you've been doing it for a long time. And a lot of these people struggle with that. Why do I say this? Because sometimes to get girls, sometimes to get women, sometimes to get just anybody, you have to act a certain way. You have to exude a certain persona that might not be your personality. But I met some guys, they're so, strong-willed. They're so like such jerks and stuff like that. You can tell they're not really naturally that, but they're putting on a persona. But to the average person that doesn't look to them, and to the average person that doesn't know them, this persona is real. So these are the people that everybody calls jerks. They're rude and stuff like that. They're really putting on a persona because nobody is really taught to be that rude. Sometimes you might be taught to, if you have an opinion about something you want, or you want something to force it a little bit. But I've noticed that you have to be a jerk to get what you want. And that doesn't mean being a jerk to random people all the time. Just in general. But like in the presence of someone that you're interested in, you have to be a little bit of a jerk to show that you're like strong, to show that you got character, you got spunk, stuff like that. And I don't know why the case that is, because like, I don't know. A lot of people aren't taught to be rude when they're growing up. They're taught to say, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, please, thank you, and stuff like that. But what I've noticed in this world is you got to be bold to get where you want to be. So if I want to be to a certain level and I'm all the way at the bottom or in the middle somewhere, you have to pretty much transform your personality in order to get there. You got to transform who you are in order to reach a certain point. So what I used to do is, say for schooling purposes, let's say I was lazy the whole semester, right? I didn't want to do anything. But some of the teachers, what they would do is they'll give you grade replacement at the end of the test on the final. And so, say you scored better on a certain section than you did when you took that test for that section, then they'll grade replace that. What I used to do is I used to get in this mindset that this is it. This is my last shot. And so my character actually transformed, my personality. I became a lot more mean. I didn't talk to anybody. I studied hard. Um, I didn't help anybody else with their schoolwork. I just focused only on me. And I became real selfish and you know, real steadfast towards the goal I wanted to get to, and which was to pass that class and get an A. So what I did was I transformed my character and my attitude to the situation. I said, okay, I got to get an A. So I buckled down. I didn't do this all semester. I didn't talk to anybody for days. And I worked really hard, studied for a long while, like a few days in a row for a long time. And then when the exam came, it was pretty easy, light work. And then I got an A in that class. But sometimes it doesn't happen like that. I really willed myself onto that A. But if I had just been kind of like laissez-faire like I was the rest of the semester, I would have just got, like a C or a B minus in that class when I really deserved an A because I knew all the material. But why do I say this again? If you want to get where you want to be, if you want to do what you want to do, if you want to achieve the things that you want to achieve in life, you have to transform characters and transform into a different person altogether. It doesn't mean you have to be that all day, every waking moment. But when you're around people in certain situations that you want, or around people in certain situations that you need something from them, you have to kind of transform to be something they might admire. So sometimes, yes, you're going to have to be mean. Yes, you're going to have to be rude. Yes, you're going to have to be strict. And sometimes if you're already naturally those, you might have to be polite in some situations and then fall back to like as a subordinate, or to a boss or something like that. If you want to get a promotion, you're not going to want to be mean to your boss. You want to be nice. So it works. It's ebbs and flows. It works. It's in and out. So you have to be really, cognizant of what do you need to do. Do I need to be meaner in this situation to get respect? Do I need to be more strict in this situation to get respect? Do I need to be more lax and more laid back so the bosses will say that I'm calm and I'm a good person to work in the office and stuff like that? So if you just, moral of the story is, wherever you want to be, however you want to do, whoever you want to get, you have to be able to reflect that. And sometimes it's hard. You have to be able to act a certain way. You got to be able to do things that are not very comfortable. Like they say, the best thing to do is, the best people in sports and in performance and things like that are the most comfortable with being uncomfortable. Are you comfortable with being uncomfortable? Because if you are, you'll get far in life.